Welcome back to another top 10 video. Um, if I sound dead, it's because I am. I just went through a lot and I kind of needed to do something to take my mind off of things for a bit. But we are doing another top 10 video in this 7-day streak of top 10 videos, and what better way to do it continue by doing my most anticipated games of 2023. Now, I recently made a video on how, gaming might be becoming boring to most people or some people, and I ignore that, and how they are just wrong. So, and I said the future of gaming is looking bright, and it honestly is for this list that I have here of my most anticipated games personally. These are in order, but it's not. It's like I kind of have the same amount of excitement for some of the spots on here, more than others, and more or less than others. But it's a list. I'll tell you what. So let's get right into it. Number 10 for sure has to be Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy, I think, is a game that has me very excited as well as very, very scared. Because the thing about Hogwarts Legacy is I just don't want it to fall into the trap that Gotham Knights did. Because the thing with Gotham Knights is that I was so convinced that game was going to be so good going into it, and the reviews came out and people started playing it. The whole thing about optimization and graphics when it came to consoles and PC, all that drama started happening, and it kind of just crashed and burned. So the thing about Hogwarts Legacy overall looks like a better game. So I'm really hoping that it just ends up being better in every way, shape, or form. And I really hope it's good. I want to have a lot of fun with it. I want to like it, but it just has me scared because of the whole thing with Gotham Knights recently. Next up is Spider-Man 2. So here's the thing, right? I have not played Spider-Man 1. I actually do have it. I own it. It's on my freaking PC right now, and I've been trying to play it on my second channel for the longest time, but so many games have come out and so many games have come up that I just haven't gotten the chance to. And from what I've seen of Spider-Man 1, this game looks better. This looks amazing. Or rather, the concept of this game looks amazing. The whole thing with Venom and the two Spider-Men being Peter and Miles. Just that whole concept. We don't know a whole bunch about it now, and initially what I said before going to this list was I wasn't going to include things without like a specific release window. So like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, they said next winter, right? We don't know what next winter means. We don't know if it means December 2023 or early 2024, right? And originally I was going to include Spider-Man 2 on this because we hadn't heard anything from it in a long time. Always we got was 2023. We didn't know it was going to be delayed. And then they announced it was coming out this fall, and I was like, all right, cool. Well, that just kind of moves around a couple of things when it comes to the list. So, but I'm very excited to see what happens with that game. Number 8 is Forza Motorsports. Oh god, that was not fun. Number 8 is Forza Motorsport. I think the reason why this game is up here is because the last couple of years I've really gotten into Forza, whether it be Motorsports or Horizon. I've really gotten into it, and both are a lot of fun. I think a lot of it has to do with Game Pass, as well as my dad being like a Forza player, and he loves Forza. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see all the next gen upgrades and just everything that they've been the stuff that they've been working on. Because when we saw everything at the Xbox presentation last year, or this year actually, it just all looked amazing in my opinion, and I'm very excited to see what happens. Next up, at number 7, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And I think I wasn't as excited for this game a couple of weeks ago compared to now, because now I'm actively playing through Jedi Fallen Order on my own time. It's kind of on and off because of a couple of reasons, but I'm playing through Jedi Fallen Order and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've owned the game since like the month it launched, like a couple of weeks after it launched. I've owned it, and I played. I was young, and I just didn't, or at least younger, and I just didn't know my way around things with puzzles or just these type of big massive RPGs. I didn't know around my I just didn't know at that point, and I think I got like 30% of the way in and just quit. I just couldn't. Now that I've played a whole bunch of JRPGs and games that require me to use my head, I went back to Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm way further into the game than I was back then, and it's so much fun. I'm enjoying every single second of it. That being said, I have to get back to it. I do, but yeah, if they can make a game like they did Jedi Fallen Order, Respawn, then no doubt in my mind this would be an amazing game and a gaudy contender for sure. Next up at number 6, I'm actually combining two spots into one for this one, because they're in the same franchise, same series, but I don't think I can classify them differently in a way. Next up is Like a Dragon Ishin and Like a Dragon Gaiden: The Man Who Erased His Name. These are the next games, sort of, in the Yakuza franchise. Ishin is a remastered localization of a game that was Japanese exclusive, and Gaiden is a brand new game that will take place in between the events of Yakuza 6 through 7, and then 7 into 8. Here's the thing, right? Ishin, I'm very excited for. We all know what Ishin looks like. What's going to happen with it? Ishin, I'm very excited for. I just the ability to play it would be great. Gaiden, I'm nervous because I have not played Yakuza 6 yet. I haven't. I'll get to it on the channel. I will, but once again, it's the same thing with like playing Spider-Man. There have been so many games that have come out with like Crisis Core and God of War. So many games that have come out that I want to play that I just haven't been able to play because of, because I want to play other games, and continuing the Yakuza franchise is one of them. And I haven't finished 6 yet. I haven't got. The next one I have to play is 5, but I'm still very excited to see where it goes because I've played it. I've played most of 7. I just don't remember any of it, but I've played most of 7, and I had a very enjoyable experience with that one. Now we have the top 5, and I feel like number 5 is a very unconventional one because I think fundamentally it's way different than at least than most of the other games on this list. Like, it's like very similar to Jedi Survivor in a way, and it's a game that I didn't expect myself to be excited for. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, okay, I can actually get down behind this game. This is Lies of P. If you don't know, Lies of P is technically indie. I don't know. It's coming to Game Pass day 1 next year, and it is like Bloodborne Pinocchio. Like, it is Pinocchio. It's like a retelling of Pinocchio, but set in it is set in like a gothic atmosphere, so gothic steampunk atmosphere. So it's like Bloodborne and Souls combat, but with Pinocchio, and it sounds very interesting. The combat and the gameplay looks really cool, and just everything about it just piques my interest. This is the most piquing my interesting game on here, because the others I have like experience with when it comes to like the concepts or the fact that they've been out, like they have things that have been out for a while, or just me being familiar with the IPs in general. But Lies of P kind of just is, I'm very excited for it just out of pure interest. It's just I just want it to be good. I want to enjoy it. I really do, and that's why it's on here. And that's why it's so high. Number 4 is obviously going to be, for me at least, as the big DC fan I am, Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. This game is going to hurt because of Kevin Conroy. But even moving past that, I think seeing a new game, the Arkhamverse, or whatever the world they're doing with the Arkhamverse, is great. I think playing as the Suicide Squad could be a lot of fun. Once again, it's like another Gotham Knights thing where I just hope it doesn't fall into the same trap that Gotham Knights did, in which it's been hyped up. It's just not good, right? It's just not good, and I really need this game to be good because I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I myself am very excited to see it because I can find the Justice League. Like what's not to enjoy about that? Being the big DC fan that I am. Next up, at number 3, top 3 now. This is like the big difference between the other 3. This is like a massive gap between number 4 and 3. Street Fighter 6. Now, technically I did grow up with Street Fighter. Street Fighter, my dad was a massive fighting game fan, and I pretty much at the age of like 4 or 5 was already playing games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and like, among other things. And Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat are the ones that I remember, but I kind of fell out of love with it, right? Because I've played Street Fighter 1, I've played Street Fighter 2, I love those games, but I kind of, there's at some point in my life where I just stopped playing fighting games for a little while. And while I grew up with these games, yes, there's like, I didn't start getting really back into fighting games up until earlier this year. And let me just tell you that I really enjoy Street Fighter 5. I think there are a lot of problems with it, but I really enjoy Street Fighter 5 when I first got to play it. And everything that they're doing with Street Fighter 6 when it comes to a casual, like competitive standpoint, what they're doing for the casuals and what they're doing for the competitive people, just it all speaks to me, and it's a fighting game I'm just very, very excited for. I've been getting into a lot of fighting games recently. I've played a ton. I've been playing a ton of like Guilty Gear, Under Night In-Birth, and whatnot, and KI and whatnot, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm very excited to see what's coming soon. It's also the reason why I didn't put Tekken 8 on here, because of no release window of time where that game is coming out. Number 2, Starfield. I think the reason I'm excited for this game is because I just want to see a big Xbox exclusive that ends up being good or ends up making waves, because I think Starfield looks really good. Yeah, it does look like another like Fallout type game, like a Fallout type RPG, but I still think it'd be cool. Just traveling through space, making your own spacecraft. I love space. I love space. And as much as we get tired of freaking every Game Awards or Summer Games Fest, Jeff Keighley announced freaking space games all the for like 2 hours straight, I still am really excited for Starfield because just everything I've seen about it has been hyped up, and I just want an Xbox exclusive that's just going to be really good. Me personally, I'm just very interested and intrigued by Starfield itself. And number 1, is once again, to no one's surprise, a massive gap, a massive jump from number 2 to number 1. It has to be Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16. And the reason why I didn't put 7 Rebirth on here, once again, is because, like I said, we don't know about that release window. But 16 just looks like everything I could want, because it looks like we're going back to like medieval Final Fantasy, like medieval times Final Fantasy, back before like the age of like FF6 and FF7, where FF6 kind of started using the technological era in their story, and then FF7 just went ham and full, like just deep in on that aspect. And then where it was like it still had fantasy aspects, but there was a decent chunk of it that was sci-fi. And then freaking Final Fantasy like 8 and 13 were just full sci-fi. Those are just sci-fi. But FF16, I think one of the other things that has got me interested is the use of the summons, because it looks like the summons are going to be more intertwined in the story this time than actually just being there, and them just being off in the distance is something you can use optionally, right? Whereas there are these big giant monsters, like why wouldn't you use them in the story? And It is freaking cool how they're gonna use them. You can fight against summons, like you can become a summon as like become Ifrit and fight against them and become other summons once you presumably defeat the other summons, and it is freaking insane. Another thing that has me intrigued is the combat, because this summer, for the first time, I played a little game known as Devil May Cry 5, and that game's combat is so freaking phenomenal. So the fact that they got like the head combat designer or something like that for Devil May Cry to come and work on Final Fantasy and all that gameplay that I've seen just has me so interested, so beyond interested, that is actually like insane to me. And I'm just very, very excited for the future. And that last trailer, that Revenge trailer, looks so freaking good. It's one of the 3 reasons why I bought a PS5. I bought a PS5 for a lot of the games, but like the three main games that I bought it for that like made me go like, okay, I want this, were God of War Ragnarok, Ghost of Tsushima, and Final Fantasy 16. And so I'm very excited to play it day one when it comes out, June 22nd, June 22nd this year. But that's pretty much been my most anticipated games of 2023 list. There's definitely some games that I for sure left out that, are coming out. I'm kind of excited for, like Tears of the Kingdom, and Fire Emblem Engage. I like Fire Emblem enough, and then I've already said I'm not a massive fan of like huge, overwhelming open world games, but they're still exciting for me. It comes to like games that are coming out next year, and there's absolutely some games that I'm forgetting that are coming out next year, and I just can't remember them at the moment. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed me rambling. You're gonna get used to this for a little bit, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.